Hello, world. This is Tommy Hagewood coming to you from Leesburg, Florida, the lakefront city in the Sunshine State. It's 81 degrees on the way to 89, with rain in the forecast as our rainy season has begun. This is Friday, May the 29th, 2020. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Are you a man or a mouse? Everyone wants to think of himself or herself as being courageous and strong. No one wants to be thought of as being a mouse. The Apostle Paul gives us some instruction in 1 Corinthians 16 and 13 when he tells us to be brave and strong. These are the third and fourth commands given in the context. He had dealt with some very serious problems at Corinth, which included division and arrogance and competition and carnality, among other things, and their problems would be solved if only they would heed these 5 commands given in verses 13 and 14. Our problems will be solved today as well if only we'll heed these admonitions. The third and fourth imperatives, as noted in the New King James, are, be brave and be strong. The literal rendering of the Greek word for be brave is act like a man. Some of the Corinthian Christians were acting like children rather than grown-up, mature children of God. Paul gives the command to act in a manly or courageous manner rather than in a childish, petty, bickering way that they were doing according to 1 Corinthians 3:1 through 3. The best way I know to illustrate what being truly courageous and strong is to look at the contrast between the way that people look at manliness and the way that God sees it. People define manliness in a physical way. Consider the following description of King Saul in 1 Samuel chapter 10, verses 23 and 24. So they ran and brought him from there, and when he stood among the people, he was taller than any of the people from his shoulders upward. And Samuel said to all the people, Do you see him whom the Lord has chosen? That there is no one like him among all the people. So the people shouted and said, Long live the king! In the eyes of the people, Saul was a man's man. In the eyes of God, he turned out to be a spiritual wreck. He was rejected by the Lord and took his own life in disgrace rather than being captured by the Philistines, as we read in 1 Samuel chapters 15 and 31. God defines manliness in a spiritual way. By way of contrast to man's way, consider the instructions given 3 times by Moses and then 3 times by the Lord himself to Joshua, the successor to Moses. In Deuteronomy 31 and verse 6, Moses said, Be strong and of good courage. Do not fear nor be afraid of them, for the Lord your God, he is the one who goes with you. He will not leave you nor forsake you. Then in Deuteronomy 31 and verse 7 it continues, Then Moses called Joshua and said to him in the sight of all Israel, Be strong and of good courage, for you must go with this people to a land which the Lord has sworn to their fathers to give them, and you shall cause them to inherit it. And then in verse 23, Then he inaugurated Joshua the son of Nun and said, Be strong and of good courage, for you shall bring the children of Israel into the land which I swore to them that I will be with you. Then in Joshua 1, 5 through 9, the Lord told Joshua, No man shall be able to stand before you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will not leave you nor forsake you. Be strong and of good courage. For this people you will divide as an inheritance the land which I swore to their fathers to give them. Only be strong and very courageous, that you may observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded you. Do not turn from it to the right hand or to the left, that you may prosper wherever you go. The book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but ye shall meditate in it day and night, that you may observe to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and of good courage. Do not be afraid, nor be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Joshua lived up to God's view of courage and strength to show true manliness. Are you a man or a mouse? Considering yourself to be a man, or courageous and strong is how we would put it, will reflect whether you view courage and strength from a purely physical standpoint or from a spiritual standpoint. If you look at being manly from God's point of view, you see spiritual bravery and spiritual strength such as Joshua possessed, or such as David possesses, a man after God's own heart, according to Acts 13 and 22, even though physically David was a scrawny little man compared to the towering King Saul. King Saul was a man's man. David was God's man. It depends on how you look at it. which depends on how you define the terms. Remember, search the Scriptures, serve the Lord, share the gospel with others. Till next time, this is Tommy Hagewood wishing for you a very pleasant good day.